Welcome to Brooke's Vegan Kitchen. Today, I'm going to show you how to make raw vegan fudgy bites. It's a family favorite, and I can't wait to show it to you. Come over here, let me show you the ingredients. We have 1 1/4 cups of sliced almonds. You can also use whole almonds if you wish. 3 tablespoons of cocoa powder, 4 teaspoons of agave nectar, 1 1/2 teaspoons of vanilla, 1/4 teaspoon of salt, 2 teaspoons of coconut oil. Be sure to use refined coconut oil. It doesn't have the coconut taste. And in this, I have 1/4 cup of raisins and 3 Medjool dates that are chopped, which also equal about 1/4 cup. They're soaking in water right now to make them nice and soft for this recipe. If you haven't worked with Medjool dates before, let me show you how to do it. Here's your Medjool date. The easiest thing to do to remove the pit is just to cut it like this, and you'll see that the pit comes out very easily. For this, I just chopped it maybe in thirds, like so. Medjool dates are really great. They're sweet and juicy. They're also easy to find in any supermarket. To put this recipe together, the first thing we're going to do is put the almonds in the food processor. Just dump them in. We're going to process these for about a minute or so. You don't want to process it so long that it becomes almond butter, which takes quite a while. You want to process it till it gets as fine as it can without getting liquidy. And when we get to that point, I'll show you what that looks like. It's also helpful if you plug in your Let's check to see how this is doing. Come on in. You'll see it's doing well. There are a few stragglers in here that don't want to get ground up. I'm just going to move this in a little bit more and redistribute and make sure everything is finely chopped. Now that looks just about right. Again, I'm going to scrape down the sides and get everything in. Place this here. The next step is to drain the soak water from the dates and raisins. Now let me tell you an extremely important step, which I forgot recently, and I came out with very soggy fudgy bites. You want to drain, or after you drain the dates and raisins, you want to have them dry. This will get out a lot of moisture. Oops, let me move this out of the way. Soaking the dates and raisins again makes it nice and soft for the recipe, so it'll blend very easily into the food processor. But you don't want too much liquid in there. Thus, you're patting it dry. That looks just about right. Oops, there are a couple stragglers in here, don't forget them. Okay, good. Now we'll place these in the food processor. I love recipes where you can just put lots and lots of ingredients in one bowl. This will be a 2-bowl recipe, as you'll see. Let's check to see how this is doing. It's coming along very nicely. I'm going to just do it a little bit more. It's starting to form a little bit of a ball, which is what you want. But I saw a couple raisins in there, maybe a chopped date or two that was not fully incorporated. That looks just about right. On a side note, one reason you want to get Medjool dates that still have the pits in them is that way you know the pits are taken out because you're the one taking the pits out. A lot of times so-called pitted dates that have the dates supposedly taken out don't have all the pits taken out. And what happens is if a pit gets in your food processor can get a little bit angry. And I've heard of people who have literally broken their food processor because of the pit that was in there. Into this bowl, we're going to add the rest of the ingredients. The cocoa powder, the agave nectar. I love having everything measured out in advance. It makes things easier. The vanilla, the salt, and the coconut oil. You'll see here that the coconut oil is solid. Coconut oil is solid when your kitchen is maybe at 76 degrees, I believe is the number, and anything hotter than that, it starts melting. It's okay in either form, but when we're incorporating this into Fudgy Bites, you want to keep it in liquid form so it incorporates fully. I'm going to microwave this for about 10 seconds. There we go. You see it's much more liquidy. Oh, it's a little cloudy there, but that's okay. Coconut oil is a saturated fat, but because it's a plant-based saturated fat, it's considered not as bad for you, as you could say, as animal-based saturated fats. And if you get it in the unrefined state, it actually has a lot of health benefits. Again, I like the refined coconut oil because it doesn't have the coconut flavor, and a lot of times I don't want the coconut flavor in different recipes. So you see that I'm incorporating everything in as best as I can. This will be a little bit sticky when you're patting it into the pan. One other thing I love about being vegan is when I'm baking desserts or just making desserts like this, I'm not using eggs anymore, so I can eat batter straight, and I love it. That's reason enough for me just to be vegan. Still incorporating everything in. Good. As a final step, we will put this into a pan. You can use any size pan that you want. I like to use a smaller one so that way when you're patting in the Fudgy Bites, they're thicker. And once you put this in the pan, you're going to let it set in the fridge for at least a half hour. There we go. This is exactly what it's supposed to look like. Your hands will get a little bit messy with this. You can also make this into different shapes. For Valentine's Day, I made a heart-shaped Fudgy Bite dessert, and my honey loved it. Be sure to cover with saran wrap. I'm going to wipe my hands first. They got a little sticky here. Good enough for now. Cover it up. Again, keep it in the fridge for at least a half hour, and then enjoy. Fudgy Bites seem to last quite a while, technically, although I have to say they don't last very long in our household. I hope you'll try Fudgy Bites. Thank you again for visiting Brooke's Vegan Kitchen.